Good morning. I have a verse, a wonderful verse that I hope will be a source of encouragement to you. It comes from Paul's letter to the Romans in the 8th chapter and verse 28. Romans 8:28 says this: "We know that all things work together for good for those who love God, who are called according to his purpose." God is working together all things for the good of those who love him. This is important for us to remember at a time like this, that God is not asleep, God has not forgotten us, that God is at work in the midst of this situation. And I have some thoughts that I think might be encouraging for you, that in a situation like this, we feel as though we have lost control. And in fact, we really do have little control over our lives. I mean, we make plans and we work our plans and pursue our plans and work as hard as we can to secure a bright future. And then all of a sudden, everything falls apart and we realize that life is out of control. But it's not out of control for God. God is working in this situation. He's working in this situation for your good, for your well-being. And so the one thing that he's doing for the good of us who love him is reminding us that he's in control and we're not. And that's a good position to be in, to be humble enough to realize that things are beyond our ability to control, but God is there. A second thing I think is happening is that our country and the world that has been so racked with divisions and divisiveness just maybe is calming down a little bit, and that the fact that we have a common enemy and that we're pulling together to overcome this virus pandemic there's a gravitational pull together that kind of all of a sudden we're not listening. The news isn't talking about all the terrible things and the way people are tearing each other apart, but rather that we just might be coming together the way that we did back during World War II, when we had to ration goods and services and everybody was working to win the war. And so as we think together and work together, that our divisions will be minimized. A third thing I think that is arising out of this is God is giving us opportunities to show love. Yesterday, I got 2 letters in the mail from my grandchildren, from my granddaughter, Akela, and from my grandson, Keaton. And just to see what they wrote, wonderful things, but the fact that they thought about us and took the time to write. And it just blessed us so richly, these wonderful little grandchildren of ours. And there are so many simple opportunities for you to show love. Just to make a simple phone call to folks who maybe you haven't seen in a while, to reach out, or even better, to write a letter. I mean, I remember when I was in college, I wrote a lot of letters. Wrote letters back home to my parents, and I got letters. And there's something wonderful about receiving in the mail a handwritten note. And since you have some time on your hands, this would be a good opportunity to do that. But I think the best thing of all is that God is using this to change us, using this crisis to change us, to make us more like Christ. He says in verse 29, "For those whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son." And as we go through this time of testing and trial, realize that God is using us, that we are the clay and he is the potter, and he's making something beautiful out of our lives. He wants to make us more like his blessed Son. So God bless you, and may this promise that God is working all things together for the good, may that be true. Claim it for yourself today. It could make a difference. God bless you, and I'll be seeing you soon.